I have absolutely destroyed my sleep schedule trying to get this right. How the hell does animation work? A few years ago, I set out to make my own animated short film from scratch by myself. The only problem is, I'm not an animator. I did all this research into different tools and services. Of course, there's super nice motion capture suits like the Xsens and the Rokoko, but these cost thousands of dollars. With the state of AI, that can't be necessary, right? So I said screw it. The famous last words of I'll do it myself. Kind of. See, there's new forms of animation available, and some people are already figuring it out. AI motion capture. And I know what you're thinking. Aren't you totally against AI? How could you use something like that for your movie? Well, most importantly, AI needs to be used as a tool, not as the creative output. And this is the best use case. This type of AI is not generative. It doesn't interpret a prompt, and it doesn't spit out images. This AI is simply trained to identify the human body and apply bones to it. Using this technology, we should be able to create a full-on animation studio absolutely free. So, I got to work. Using some open source resources like RT-Impose and Freemocap, and some help with Claude, we can write out a Python script that tracks and records our movements using whichever cameras we choose. Then, I made a simple script in Blender to import the motion as empty markers. It looked interesting, but I couldn't make out my movement in the dots. I tried applying my character, but it was all stretched and everything looked off. Kind of a horror show. I messed around with the data of the imports, the recordings, the retargeting, everything. I got kinda close, but nothing really snapped into place. I've got the animation importing at the right size, I've got the character in the right position, but everything looks off. It took a lot of iteration, but we finally started to get somewhere. And after a month of errors, I realized that my cameras got flipped at some point. Changed the X value around and boom. Wow, real usable motion capture animation from video, all for free. But unfortunately, this isn't enough. This isn't practical. I have a whole movie to make. The hand is already falling out of sync and my torso doesn't rotate. I think we're gonna need to upgrade this to 2 cameras. So it's a few days later and I've refined it as much as I can. The only issue I have is turning around my body. Every time I turn my torso, the whole tracking gets thrown off. We've got the 2 cameras set up now, so I cooked up a new script. After wiring my phone and my camera to the computer to live stream both simultaneously, I was able to record a take on both devices at the same time, and then use a separate script to triangulate the points in 3D space to give a better animation file with good depth. In theory, it seemed flawless, but this is actually where everything fell apart. No matter what I did, each new script I tried just failed to get any good data. Hell, the data from one camera was almost better than 2. No matter the changes I made, the animation just didn't link up. I tried and failed again and again. I had to step away for a few days, but it kept eating at me, echoing around in my head at night. I had to rethink the whole system. I had to re-rig and weight paint my character from the ground up. In my one little AI chat for this project, it kept getting caught up on the details and going down the wrong path. That's the thing about AI. It's really just trying to give you everything you want all at once. But once I slowed down, led it step by step with documentation links, everything started to work out. It took me and my own knowledge to lead it in the right direction. But finally, we got somewhere. If one camera worked, then the issues must be from the triangulation. So I created a calibration board, upgraded my recording script, and even tested out Rokoko's free tools to confirm my rig wasn't the problem. All of that, and it started to make sense. Let's try the new script. Finally, we got somewhere. A full animation that doesn't look like a horror movie. AI motion capture all on my own hardware for free. But I wasn't done there. You ready? Here's what it looks like in full production mode. Alright. You ready? So now, I'm gonna get some sleep.